Okay, hopefully I'm posting to the 5 out of 4 Facebook group and not to be the post on Facebook. I think that's what I want. Oh gosh, that's not what I want. How do I get back? Press this button. Okay, so hopefully somebody's going to join us and they can tell me, yes, you're definitely in the 5 out of 4 Facebook group. You're not posting to your public page because that would be really bad. In fact, I'm going to close this page. Shoot. Is anybody there? Let me see. It says no comments or reactions. Oh, good morning. Ah, somebody's there. Woohoo. All right, that's good. Seeing as how Priscilla and I are not friends on Facebook, that's a pretty good sign that I'm posting to the correct group. So for those that don't know, I go live every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Each week I try and, Laura, come join me on the live video instead of texting me. Anyway, okay, each week I try and talk about something that is semi-relevant, not just my fantastic family life. And this week I'm actually trying a new program. It's called Ecamm Live. A user a couple weeks ago suggested it because I wanted to do something, and I can't remember what it was now. And so now I'm sitting so that I can use my laptop. I still have my notes. I was going to try and simultaneously cast to YouTube, but then I realized I wouldn't be able to see the comments. And now, I can see comments. Ecamm will only receive the names of group members who've granted their permission. Oh, okay. So if I don't see your comment, it means that you haven't granted. I can see your comments. Actually, they're all gray, but they kind of pop up on the screen, and it doesn't tell me who says it. So that's fine. I totally get not wanting to share your information with Ecamm. I think that's a little sketchy. But, it's not. Like, I'm using it. I'm happy to use it. But, anyway, we're learning. If this doesn't work out, I thought it was cool that I could put let me point that. There we go. I'm learning something. And I keep looking at my picture instead of the camera, and that always bugs me. Anyway, I could keep going. So, as we get used to doing more live videos, I am hoping to go live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. We really appreciate all the comments and all the likes, and if I ever get this on YouTube, hopefully we can get some shares in and get our viewership up, and then hopefully I can come up with more relevant information to actually share with you, because as fascinating as I am, I'm sure you actually want to talk about sewing. So think of some questions that you want right now, and hopefully they'll actually pop up on the screen, or somebody will allow Ecamm to see something in their profile. I don't know what they want. And then maybe I can answer them at the end of the session. I have a couple questions for you, so if you could answer in the comments, that would be fantastic. Oh goodness, the dog groomer's calling. I do read all the comments, and I try and link to things that I talk about in the video. That's something that I would like to get better on. Eventually, I'd like to even have the recorded video up on our blog, because, I don't know, I dream that people still read blogs. I can't say that I read a lot of blogs unless I'm looking for something in particular. But that way it's really easy for me to talk about the show notes and not just have them in the comments, because one thing that keeps coming up is the gigantic bag of clear elastic that I talked about 3 episodes ago. And if I had it up on the blog, that would be really easy to point people to that link right there. So my question for you, and again, if you could answer in the comments, that'd be great, is do you watch video tutorials? So I have a friend, and she's actually the person who, she and my brother, helped me do this. They really, I don't know, the brain's not working. They recommended doing the live videos. They were telling me about another person who does live videos. And I was really nervous at first because I am a huge introvert, borderline hermit. And I was like, I don't have anything to say. This is crazy. But then I started to realize that I rely on my awesome assistants to do a lot of the visual stuff that you see in the 5 out of 4 group. For example, a person that you see a lot is Laura. She does all of our video tutorials on YouTube, and she does her face in front of each video because it's so charming, and she does this cute little intro. And it started to occur to me that people thought she was the owner of 5 out of 4, and that's fantastic. I don't really care. I don't mind being the woman behind the curtain. In fact, sometimes I feel more comfortable there. I don't know why. Whatever. But then I really thought it was important because part of my aim is to create more of a community, and frankly, I need a community because I am a hermit. See previous comment. And so I wanted to start doing this to kind of create a dialogue within our group and to really feel like we might be getting to know people. In fact, this sort of led to me starting an Atlanta-based group whom we're up to like 18 members. But we haven't done anything yet. And so I feel like the next step is like, let's go get coffee. And then I get a little bit more uncomfortable, but I am trying. And so I really enjoyed doing these. Last week, I loved that video where I got to talk about the super plush from So English. I thought it was fantastic because I always wondered if it was useful for leggings. And so if you missed it, I can try and link to it. It's linked in the newsletter. I highly recommend getting the newsletter because I do link to all the videos there. Okay, so moving back to my question. We're talking about adding video tutorials. Look, there we go. Oh, not just for kicks. That's me too. We're talking about adding video tutorials to some of our patterns, namely patterns like our beginner level patterns or the patterns that don't have a ton of options, because I know everybody loves the agility and I know that it can be a little daunting when you first start out, but it's got so many options that I think that if we did a video tutorial for that, it would take a really long time. But then on top of that, that's funny, Christy. I did have coffee with you, and you did not bite me. And you did not let me say no, so I appreciate that. To the video tutorials, like, some people really like a visual, seeing every step of the way, following along, pressing pause. They'll watch it for like an hour and a half. I have one friend who will just watch it in the background while she's doing other stuff, and it's like a woman sewing bags. And so one task that I would really like to do for me this week is to sew up a pair of Little Ninjas, because it's doing awesome. I mean, it's hugely popular because it's free. People love free. And I'll like videotape each step. It won't be live because, yeah, I don't get it all done in one sitting because I have a lot of children. But I'm gonna do this down. Anyway, I talk with my hands a lot. So I want to videotape each step. Maybe do a guess it, maybe not, because for the 2-year-old, I don't really care. And then throw it up on YouTube. I'm going to throw that one up for free because it's a free pattern, but in the future, we're really talking about offering it as an add-on to each pattern. I don't know. I think this is pretty exciting because we get a lot of people. We want new people. We do. We want to empower you. We want to make you feel comfortable. We want you to ask all the hard questions and all the easy questions. I really like the easy questions. No, I'm just kidding. But we also want to provide different ways for you to learn. So right now what we have is I do technical drawings for the tutorials. I don't do photos because when I was first starting out, it really frustrated me when the designer would change the fabric in the middle of the tutorial. And I would get really confused because I'm so visual. And so now what we do is we do technical drawings, and then if something is frankly hard for me to draw because it's got different layers or, I don't know, things are folded or like thumbhole cuffs, I tried drawing that, and then I took pictures for it too. And then we also did a video for it. So what we do now is we have the technical drawings, we have photos if it gets a little tricky, and then on top of that, we do a video if it seems like it's a tricky part. This is one of our goals for this year. We're thinking about it. Laura and I are talking it over. In addition to these live videos, like I really want to get it up on YouTube, and I don't know, I'm enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying it too. So moving right on, keep answering that question about video tutorials. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't care. Oh, that's fine. Oh, a lot of people commented on my shirt. Maybe if I step on the cord, the whole computer will fall down. So this is, I have a band. I sat on this striped fabric for over a year. I did. It's true. And this shirt, or something similar to this shirt, pops up all the time. Whether it's in an advertisement for some company that I don't know where they're based out of. But I really loved it. And then I got really persnickety about matching the blues. And I must have ordered, because I tried to match this like sort of gray color and then the darker brown. And they're all sort of faded. And I wasn't going to match the yellow because frankly I look like death in yellow. Anyway, I sat on it for a long time. And I never did anything with it. And that was pretty funny. And so finally my husband pulled it out, and he's like, you keep talking about how excited you are about this fabric, and yet you don't do anything with it. And so one of the things I'm trying to do is like actually use the fabric that I buy, because it's just taking up space in my sewing room, mocking me right now. And so I finally did. I made myself a Nancy Raglan. I did a really fun, let's see if I can show you. So the inside of the hood, I did the center stripe on the Nancy Raglan in this navy. This navy is a French terry, and it is like crazy soft, which I love. Of course, it's going to be 70 degrees here. Sorry, Rochelle. Rochelle is in the frozen tundra, Seattle area. Man, everything's reversed on the camera. It was really hard for my pea-sized intellect. Anyway, so you can see I did the stripe opposite on the inside and outside just to give myself a little flair. I actually think that I'm going to add cuffs. Because I like cuffs. I don't necessarily like thumbhole cuffs because, honestly, this is idiotic, but I'm going to tell you anyways because that's the kind of girl I am. I don't think I meet a lot of new people, but when I meet people and I go to shake their hand and I have thumbhole cuffs on, I never know if it's weird to keep the thumbhole cuff on. Maybe I think too much about this and I'm oversharing. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Maybe so. So I love this shirt. I've been wearing it a lot. One of my friends in the Facebook group is a parent on my daughter's gymnastics team, and it's pretty funny. She knows me well, and yeah, she can always tell when I get a new shirt because I wear it a lot. Speaking of new stuff, I got a bundle recently from So English, and it's this oatmeal. It was part of that gigantic package that I got last week with the super plush. It's a French terry. Kind of an oatmeal. It's not my favorite color, but it had hearts on it, and my 6-year-olds like hearts. And I'm not the most romantic person. I'm kind of boring and weirdly practical. And so we don't do a lot for Valentine. We don't do anything. We don't do a lot. We don't do anything. I don't buy cards because a $4 piece of cardboard kind of sends me over the edge. But occasionally I like to sew my kids up something. And so I bought this, and the twins, who are 6, have already asked for dresses, and so I'm probably gonna, this is such a terrible habit of mine. So I came out with the Sydney right before the holidays, and it's doing awesome. It's a great pattern, but now I want to tweak it and do something new. And so then I'm constantly doing something new and wanting to come out with a new pattern, but then I don't get it out fast, and then I have these pictures, and people are like, what pattern is that? And I'm like, why can't I just sew it up as is? And yeah, because I'm a designer. That's why. Because I'm just never happy with the status quo. So anyways, I have this cute little Valentine's fabric, but then again, I have 6 children, and if I do something for 2 of them, then the other 4 are like, where's mine? And then I laugh. Because that's a lot. It is a lot. And I love them. I love them all. It's a lot. And then I know my 10-year-old would be like, hey, I want a new leotard that's Valentine's based that I will wear for exactly a week. And she'll talk in this voice too. Anyway, I digress. So one thing that we've got going on is Rochelle is hard at work at some heat transfer vinyl or just SVG files, whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to use them for. She's going to be putting some Valentine's Day-based cut files up on the website. They will be free for a limited time. I don't know how limited. Maybe that will, I don't know. Maybe, it makes sense through Valentine's Day. So we'll say through Valentine's Day. They'll probably be up longer than that. But anyway. So stay on the lookout. I'll give a shout out in So somebody just said, oh, you know what? Wait. Ooh, maybe I can. Oh, no, don't do that. Ooh, look at that. So that's my first time. Thank you. I don't know how to get rid of it by the way, after you read it. But anyways, so I love the Sydney. What if you made your tweaks as an add-on pack? I don't do add-on packs. I don't know. I don't know why. I try and include a good amount of options. Sometimes include too many options. I'm sure there's a time, if I got into woven dresses to where every kid's dress, and let's say I was doing just kids and it was a woven dress, and I'm not going to, and everything was like a straight up rectangle bodice. I could even make it with just knots. And like, then I did different skirts. Like, I could see like, I don't know. Part of the reason I don't do an add-on pack is because you're inevitably going to get somebody who says, how about this pattern? Where's the rest of the pattern? We've found that people don't always read, and I don't mean that negatively. We love people. But a lot of times in this case, I'll be perfectly honest. We do not have a straight up skater dress. And by a skater dress, I mean with a regular neckband, just a athletic style band, like a fold over and sew or serge on, flip up. And we could so I could easily do that. Now that alone with the same things as the Sydney, that makes me uncomfortable. And frankly, I'm just not into that. So what I will probably do is do the Sydney bodice with the neckband instead of it being fully lined. And then we'll do different sleeve options. Like you could do a pedal sleeve. You could do a gathered puff sleeve. You could do a bell sleeve. You could do a circle, flounce, frilly, whatevs. We could do a gathered skirt. And then we could actually say, hey, all the things that are in the skater dress, whatever I'm going to call it. I've run out of kids at this point. All the things that are in the skater dress pattern are also usable on the Sydney dress pattern. And then you get like 2 awesome patterns with similarities, which is very common across all designers, but they have a ton of options. Whereas if I put all of those into the original Sydney pattern, which is not the question, but neither here nor there, what would happen is about half of the options would never get sewn. And so we struggle. I struggle with this. I'm not going to speak for the other people. Ooh, look, I made it disappear. I love this. This is a new program, and I'm learning. It's sometimes hard for me to learn. There you go. Skater for girls and women with a band. And actually, I love doing women and girls. So I could do peplum, high-low, gathered skirt, whatever. And I'm not having more kids. I'm just going to make that clear. Hey, Kellen, I can't talk right now. I'm live. And I just told him that. I said, don't interrupt while I'm live. Anyway. Here, come here. Now you get to meet my son. So right now I'm homeschooling one handsome child this year. Say hey. Kellen is 8. Yeah, he likes to laugh. What did you want to ask me? No, thanks. Go read some more. I love you. Or go make a real breakfast because we only had muffins. But I'm going to get back to my video. Thanks for understanding. Close the door. Alright. So, Kellen is my, I used to homeschool all the kids, and then we sent 2 of them to school, to a 3-day-a-week school, and then Kellen wasn't old enough for that one, but he was too old for the other option, and so it's just me and him at home, and he loves to do he loves to bake. And so we spend, I don't know why I'm sharing this. I'm oversharing. Maybe so. But we spend every Wednesday trying a new recipe. We made these key lime pie squares last week, which were delightful. And then on Super Bowl Sunday, we actually made some pretzel bites from a mix that my mom found was gluten-free. It was fantastic, too. We made them cinnamon sugar because I like sugar. So we are very pro-homeschool. I don't like making lunches. That's why I tell people. When people are like, oh, why do you homeschool? I don't like making lunches. That's a lie, but it makes them go like, really? Okay, so look for the Valentine's cut files. This week, I don't know when. We're trying. We have the kids raglan going into testing. And quickly following that, we have the men's raglan. So that is pretty exciting because then we'll have like the raglan trifecta. Much to popular dismay, the men's raglan will not be called the Ronald Raglan. We joke about it. I named the, I will share the mix, or my mother will. No, I'll find the link. We joke about it, but I don't want people getting on there like political soapboxes and making something out of something that's not. It just made me laugh that, I like recipes, that, I named it the Nancy Raglan. I like puns. I really like limericks, but I like puns, and it makes me laugh. And every now and then, like, somebody's like, wait, is that really? And it just makes me laugh even more. But we're not naming this one the Ronald Raglan. Okay, swim fabric. So I'm going to try something on this new program. Let's see. So I'm going to show you. Oh gosh, hopefully this works. Why is it not working? I want to go here. So this is Spandex World. I'm trying to go to the top of the screen. Hopefully you can see this. If I hit this button, I think, yeah, this is better. So now I can see what you can see. So I picked, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about swim fabric. I love swim fabric. I love sewing swim until about August, and then I'm ready for fleece. I don't know, it's like a thing. So I want to talk a little bit about the weight of swim fabric, because when I was first starting, I didn't know swim fabric from anything else, and like there's a place over in I think it's Norcross, outside of Atlanta on the other side of town, called Fine Fabrics, and it is like a warehouse. And don't take your kids because they love to play hide and seek, and then it's really big and it's crazy, and like something about the really tall walls is like right out of Harry Potter, and they want to run, and that didn't go over well. Ask me how I know. But I was talking to them when I first started, and they're like, "Oh, anything that has 4-way stretch." Okay, that's true. Some of them get a little heavier in water, and polyester. Like if you get a polyester lycra, it just doesn't have the same swim feel. It works. I've totally done it. I'm looking around for an example, and of course I'm not that well prepared, but I feel like swim's going to be a pretty good theme for me because I enjoy it and people are curious, and so I love questions. I picked Spandex World because they have an unbelievable selection. Here's my caveat with them, and it kind of drives me nuts, and I've written and asked a million times. Their shipping, they're out of New York City, I think. I said that funny, New York City. Their shipping is astronomical, and so I frankly don't shop from them unless I'm just feeling crazy. But I was here because I actually wanted to, why won't it let me scroll? Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm going to go back over here, and then you can see, there we go. So, because I love all the choices. One thing I thought that it would be funny for me to show up with swim bottoms made out of eggs, because people always ask, this is a really weird sense of humor, but people are always like, are they all yours? And they get all into my personal life about how many kids I've had. I find that just alarming. Anyway, so one thing that I value about Spandex World is they are really good. We're going to click here. I tried to find ones that I'd actually sewn with because I thought that was important. They list, I'm going to highlight it here. Hopefully it shows up for you. There you go. They list the weight in grams, which frankly I'm not that bright, but of the fabric. And they're pretty good about telling you what it's good for. I really like that. I feel like the more information, the better. They tell you it's a 4-way stretch. On this website, they don't tell you how much stretch in which direction, which can get a little dicey, but since they tell you it's good for swimwear, you know. And my toddlers loved this fabric in particular. I think I might have had it on a black base. I can't actually remember. I'm going to have to go through pictures. So one thing that, is no bueno to me. Hand wash in cold water, mild detergent, and line dry. I am a terrible housekeeper, homemaker, whatever you want to call it. And I have 6 kids. And so the amount of laundry we do, we're actually talking about getting a second stacked set for our washer and dryer. Because we do laundry multiple times per day, same with dishes, but we don't have room for a second dishwasher. And I can honestly tell you that under no circumstances am I hand washing or line drying bathing suits. I said. Now what will happen is if we go to the pool and we come home and the kids actually hang up their suits, I will rinse them out and hang them up. But if I'm actually like washing them, I'm throwing those bad boys in the dryer. Mostly like with stuff like this. Now, here's the caveat. The only thing, and maybe, I don't know, the only thing that I hand wash and line dry right now is my 10-year-old's competition leotard that has like hand glued sequins. You know, I'm down with that. But if I'm hand making a bathing suit, chances are that kid's going to sit on the cement side of the swimming pool all summer long, and they're going to scuff up their tush, and like it might be usable the next year, but I mean, it doesn't need to last forever. And so this is a good segue into a quick detour into swim elastic. I like swim elastic, but at the same time, like if you want rubber swim elastic, it stretches slightly differently than your typical knit elastic. I like it for that. Hold on just a second. Let me grab this spool that I have, and then I'll switch back. I bet I can do that. Give me 1 second. So I was trying to see. Oh, this is. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. So, I'm like really backwards. I'm going to blame being left-handed. Okay, yeah, hopefully, there we go. Alright, so it says braided cotton swimwear elastic. This is 100 yards. I'm positive I got it from, I will find a link. I've had it for a while, so when you ask me does it break down, it's doing fine. When you get a huge amount like this, you will find a spot where they've like glued two pieces together. That's going to happen. But it's fantastic. Like, I'll use this, but if you open up an Athleta bathing suit, you'll find like a rubber elastic around the waist sometimes. I don't bother. I don't go looking for that stuff. I'm sure I could find it, and everybody's like, oh, it breaks down in the chlorine. You know, I'm not a professional swimmer, nor do I play one on TV. And so, by the end of the summer, we have never had elastic breakdown. This has worked totally fine for us. You probably don't need 100 yards if you have a lot of kids, and you sew leotards too. I highly recommend this. This is 3/8. It works for all of our swimsuit patterns, and it works for the straps on the agility, so that's fantastic. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to wrap this up. I've been talking a lot. And then I show donuts. I really like donuts. I'm not sure which child I could talk into having donuts on their tush, but I just wanted to show you the range. So this one was 170 grams. That's a little bit lighter, on the lighter end. The donuts here is 211, so that's pretty good. To me, I don't want super heavyweight, especially, like I have one that is almost like a, what do you call the fabric that, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But it's like lining fabric that I always tell people to put into sports bras, that fabric. I don't want it to where it's like hard to stretch like that. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on this because we'll have a whole separate video about that. So anyways, 211, and this one is 201. And then, I feel like people are always, sorry, that probably made you dizzy. Excuse me. Around the 4th of July, people are always looking for blue and white stars. They love to do some Americana stuff or Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's always popular. I'm going to switch to this website because I was just, I have this swimwear and it's beautiful. And I've actually made, even though it says yoga swim spandex, I've made leggings for 2 of my girls out of this. And it's really pretty. I really want to make myself a bathing suit out of this too. And this is at Zenith and Quasar. This one is 250. I'm telling you, man, when it gets to 250, it is a breeze to sew with. It feels really nice. It doesn't feel flimsy. If you get a really lightweight swim fabric, My machine tends to eat it. I'm going to switch back so you can see me. My machine tends to eat it. It gets kind of stretched out really easily, and it just looks terrible. And a lot of times, I find that fabric at Joann's, or I don't know if Hobby Lobby even carries swim fabric. But I've had some tough luck at Joann's. I'm sure they have decent quality. I'm of the camp that does most of my shopping online because I have a lot of children and they're always with me in some form or capacity. Or, I mean, like, number, not like, anyway, that was weird. And so I like to shop online, and sometimes I strike out. If I'll have to find a picture. Facebook likes to mock me. And a while ago, like last week, they posted a picture of my 10-year-old as like a 2-year-old and the very first leotard I made her. And I used knit lame. I think that's how you say it. I'm really good at spelling. I'm terrible at pronouncing anything. It's just like a peccadillo. But it was this hot pink, and it was shiny, and it had a lot of flamboyancy. You know, she loved it. And that is one that the fabric, like, flaked off. I mean, like, literally, the only way you're going to learn this stuff is by messing up. And I get that, like, it costs money to mess up, unfortunately. That is the case. A lot of places will send you samples if you ask for it. That's always nice because you can see, you know, different weights and whatnot. I'm going to go through. I really, really like it when websites give the weight of a fabric more than just lightweight, medium weight, heavyweight. I mean, if it says lightweight, I'm like, especially when it comes to swim fabric, because lightweight to me, this is probably not true, but this is my like preconceived notion. Lightweight to me means that at some point during the summer, I'm gonna like be sitting on the side of the pool and scuffing my tush-up, because that's what people do, and then I'm gonna go to get up, and the back of my bathing suit's gonna be see-through. That's like, it's the reason I'm scared of this happening is because it happened to me. Yes, my kids in August finally pointed out, like, something's wrong there. And it was totally that I didn't line the back of my bathing suit, and it was totally secret. Okay, so that was like a 30-minute video. That was amazing. Hopefully, either we can figure out how to see comments a little bit more easily. Do you have any questions for me? Anybody? Nope. I can't see, unfortunately, because I don't know what that means. If I click this button, I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I'm gonna like add a link to the post description so that you can give them your information. So this is weird. I'll have to figure this out. But basically, it says like they can post your comment with your name, because a lot of people just have blank faces, so I can't see you. That make like that cuts down on the community. So I gotta figure this out. I can see the comments when they first pop up, but when they go over to the right, all of a sudden they're grayed out. So it makes it really hard for me to talk to you and feel not so there. Okay, so I don't see any questions. Maybe I've already lost you. I don't know. It doesn't even tell me how many people are watching on here. Anyway, it's new. But I have my logo. Yay! Okay, if you have questions, I will link to the swimmer elastic. We did pick a final winner for our who won the Juki cover stitch. I don't think I mentioned that in the newsletter last week, so I'm going to mention her name in the newsletter this week, because I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm sorry. But she was a grand prize winner, and I got to get her machine, so hopefully that I have that in a message somewhere. I'm falling behind. We're going out of town for yet another gymnastics meet this weekend. That's like 3 out of the last 4 weekends or something ridiculous. So it's been a little crazy. Okay, thank you for joining me. We love having you here. As always, if you could tell more people about 5 out of 4, like this video, ask me questions, I will be happy to answer them. You can even call me out. Yeah, thank you. Hopefully you join me next week at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. And hopefully I figure out the software so it doesn't seem so crazy. All right, thanks. Bye.